today to run DISD, what's the first thing you would do?
The first thing I would do is thank all the voters who put me in office. I'd be very grateful for their support. I would then meet with each of the trustees who are on the board and talk with them. And I already have a relationship with all of them, but I would talk with them and talk about what are their priorities, where do they see the board going. They've already been serving. They have an idea of the direction of the board already, and I would explain to them also the things that I feel that my voters put me in office for, that they want accountability, they want fiscal responsibility. We want to focus especially on the needs of the children need to be number one. I would outline to them what my voters put me in place to do, and I would hear what their plans are as well, so we could begin immediately working together for common goals.
What was the school board's biggest waste of time over the last few years?
I think one of the biggest wastes of time has been arguing over naming of schools. We had a lot of contention early on about the naming of the schools. Should we be charging money for naming of schools? We had board meetings that literally 4 hours of discussion was arguing over naming of schools. I think if the community has brought forward a name that they want for a facility or a new library or whatever, that should be approved. I do not feel that we should be charging money for it. But in that whole discussion, it had nothing to do with the education of our children, and so I do feel that was a waste of time.
Which current DISD trustee do you most identify with, and why?
Current, that is a very difficult question to answer because I see myself in all the faces on the board right now. Mostly what I see myself identifying with is their goal. I really feel that every trustee serving currently wants the best for our children. Their mission that they defined was to educate all children for success. And that is a goal that we all can get behind. I firmly believe that. And I think that's a common ground that we all have, and we can put aside our differences and move forward for the job that we have to do for the children of Dallas.
Why do more than 90% of Dallas voters ignore DISD elections?
I really don't know why. I am a voter. I vote all the time. My voting record, I vote in runoffs, I vote in primaries, I vote all the time. That's how I was raised. I think, in my opinion, it may be because they don't feel like they make a difference. I feel like when I tell my voters as I go door to door and I tell them that this is not a high turnout election and your vote will really count, that they get very motivated to turn out to the polls. I feel that that's part of my mission as an elected official, which I've already been doing as an elected official. I go to my community, I talk to my community. They know they're elected officials, and they know that when I talk with them that their views will be heard, and I think that will encourage more participation.
DISD ranked W.T. White near the top of its list for the most pressing facility needs. Should those needs be addressed now, or should the school wait for the next bond package?
I believe those needs should be addressed now, yes. Those needs needed to be addressed yesterday. So I feel that absolutely, they are at 146% of capacity right now. They're bursting at the seams. They have lots of interest. It's a great school. Lots of people in our district want to go to W.T. White, but the facilities is definitely an issue, and I feel that that needs to be on the priority list. I feel we have a huge fund balance, $342 million right now. There is no reason that we can't do that addition right now, and I think that should be a priority.
What would convince Preston Hollow parents to send their kids to DISD when they have so many other choices?
That is one of the goals of my campaign. I want to make DISD schools the #1 choice for all parents in our neighborhood. I want them to want to send their children to the neighborhood schools, and I want them to feel very comfortable with that. I feel that right now the word hasn't gotten out that we have good schools, and I feel that it is word of mouth. In a community, it's word of mouth. It's not PR from the district. It is word of mouth. As more and more parents send their children, such as Withers with our dual language program, as more and more parents love that program, participate in it, it's attracted even more parents, and now we're expanding that. So I feel that as parents are satisfied and happy with what we're doing for their children, that we will attract more, and it will just continue to build and snowball.
How does attracting more upper-income families to their neighborhood public schools help DISD as a whole?
I think all families have something to offer, no matter their socioeconomic status. I feel that all families have something to offer to DISD, and the more we can involve all families in our district, the better off we'll be as a district. This is something that is 160,000 children in the city, in our district right now, and We benefit from the diversity. We benefit from all voices being heard. You know, I'm a past PTA president and just was talking with them. It's every child, one voice. We need to be unified in bringing all voices together to serve all our children.